Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we got a great study that I want to talk to you about this morning that just came out. I flagged it. I don't think you'll see it anywhere else, as far as I know. Kelly, Brahim, Mike, Andrea, good morning to you. Nativity, nice to have you on. Mary, good morning. And Nick from our staff. Adeline. And Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Yolande, bonjour. Shannon. Jeanette from our staff. Anna, good morning. Colleen. And Len and Judy from Edmonton, hello. Renee, good morning. Newfoundland. Bernice, Newfoundland. Denise, bonjour. And John, Elgin, Illinois. Dale, good to have you on. Luella. And Frida. And another Renee, but from Australia. Well, good morning, Renee from Australia. Or it'd be probably good afternoon, wouldn't it? Fran, Marnie, Diane, Guylaine. Nice to have you guys on. Julie, Houston, Texas. Denise, good morning. And Lynn. And Donna, Bell Valley. Joe. And Maria from London. IT, Unionville. Sherry. I can't help myself. Marilyn. Lorraine. Nice to have you guys on. Darlene. Texas. Frances Marie. Vitamin C. She's having her coffee this morning. Carla and Holly. Kathy. Good morning to you. A couple more. Pat. How you doing? Jocelyn. Sherry. Oh, I feel like singing again. Shirley. And Shirley Goodness. Lyle. Laura. And Mary. Good morning. Armara. Judy. John. And nice to have you on. Dorothy. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Carol. Okay. Viderma from the Dominican Republic. And Judy, good morning. Sherry says, I love it when Dr. Martin sings. I love singing, but I don't know if you should love it or not. Okay. Now, guys, I literally am going to blow your socks off today. And the reason is because this is a blow your socks off study. And this study was determining the ratio of your triglycerides, okay? So we'll talk about that in a minute, and your glucose. And they found that if this was out of whack, if your triglycerides and your blood sugar didn't even have to be abnormal, just had to be in the high normal, they found with high triglycerides and higher than average glucose, we'll talk about that, they could predict whether someone was going to have a stroke or not. Wow. Because what they did is they found carotid, okay? Where are your carotids, guys? Where are your carotid arteries? They're right here, okay? They go right along the side of your neck, your carotids, okay? And they go up to the brain, feed blood up into the brain, and they can tell with your triglycerides being high, glucose in the higher ranges, they can tell how much plaque you have in the carotid arteries to look for strokes. Now, guys, the problem with the carotid arteries, generally, until they're full of plaque, until they get blocked up completely, you can't see it. You can't see it. And now, of course, they do ultrasound and whatever, but this will determine even if you're going in the wrong direction. How do you even build plaque? How can you build plaque? And if it's, guys, listen, if it's happening here in your carotid arteries, it's happening elsewhere around your heart. These guys, this is so significant. I can't get over. And then, of course, I spend, I'm trying to find out if someone is even talking about this significant study. I couldn't find it anywhere else. My little service that sends me, I can look at all these studies, but the mainstream media, which should be all over this, I mean, the health part of it should be all over this. This is significant. You can tell if you're plaquing up, if your heart, if your arteries are starting to develop atherosclerosis by looking at your glucose and looking at your triglycerides. Now, guys, I like, as you guys know, if you're going to send me blood work, I really, really like, you know me. I've been talking about this for as long as you've known me. Give me your triglycerides. I really don't care about total cholesterol. I really don't care about that. You can't make me care, okay? You can't. Now, I love you guys, and if you send it to me, I'm sorry. I won't comment on, oh, my doctor and my total cholesterol, my cholesterol's high. I don't care. I can't. It's not true. And study after study, if you go in behind the scenes, will agree with what I'm saying. This study this morning that looked at triglycerides and glucose, A1C. I like the best glucose test. You can send me your fasting glucose. I'll look at it. For sure, I'll look at it. Better be low. Better be low. But guys, I'm telling you, and again, let me just say this. Let me say this about strokes. Because if you unpack this study, and we're talking about triglycerides, and we're talking about glucose, your sugars. Guys, hello. That's food. What they're saying is strokes are caused by food. That's what they're saying. That's the bottom line. They didn't say that in the study because they only talked about how they were able to look at thousands and thousands of people with strokes, look at their blood work, and they said, holy moly. Oh, I don't know if they said holy moly, but they should have said holy moly. When we look at high triglycerides, and when we look at glucose or A1C, we can determine. Guys, isn't this, think about how significant this is. You want to prevent a stroke? It's food. Guys, heart disease and strokes are still the leading cause of death in North America. Number one, numero uno. We have been on a failed experiment for so long, it drives me crazy. Because nobody talks about food. Look, you can't control everything in your life. You can't. But this study is talking about the importance of getting your triglycerides down and getting your glucose down. Your blood glucose. The most accurate, by the way, of glucose testing is A1C. Okay? It is. It's an average. It's a 3-month average, and it'll give you a better indication. But if your doctor don't give you that test, at least make sure they give you a triglyceride test. You want to know? Your doctor's going to look for cholesterol. I'm going to look for your triglycerides. I don't care about, I do care about cholesterol, you know that. But if you don't look at the right numbers, you're going to miss it. You're looking at TGs, triglycerides, and HDL. As far as your lipids, we call it a lipid profile. Okay? Now, to me, you should never get a blood test unless you're looking at that too. I mean, yeah, you want to do your CBC, your routine blood work and all that. Yeah, okay. But what's more significant is your lipid profile. And your sugar profile, honey. You want to know. This is preventative. I can't tell you how significant this is. It's so preventative. And you guys know this. You can bring down your triglycerides. You can. It's what I've been saying for so long, and I see it, and this is very specific about the carotid arteries. Very specific. What blocks up the carotid arteries? Those fat, stinking balls, triglycerides. They're fat balls. Cholesterol's not fat balls. Cholesterol are your Amazon trucks. They deliver, they deliver. Cholesterol delivers. I talked to you about this the other day about men and testosterone. They don't have enough cholesterol to deliver their tea. You need cholesterol to deliver tea. What am I saying? Testosterone, not your tea as in a drink. And 50% of the population of men in their 20s have low levels of testosterone. In their 50s, it's reversed. You know what happens in the 50s in men in North America? True fact. They got more womanly hormone than their wives do at 50, men. When they test it, your testosterone. Oh, doc, my testosterone is normal. I said, you don't want your testosterone to be normal. You want your testosterone to be like rocket fuel, very high. Not you, ladies, men. They need, look, a man's brain, a man's heart, a man's bones, a man's, guys, look, I don't want to get into genders, okay? I don't want to go there. You know? Men are different than women. Sorry if it offends anyone. I'm very offensive sometimes. Okay? I can't handle it. I'm just saying that men ought to be men. And they need high testosterone. Women ought to be women. And they need, and listen, Linda, they need estrogen and progesterone to be equal. That's a big problem. We talk about that all the time in women. They have an unbalance. And when you have an unbalance in a woman, you know what happens? Their estrogen takes off. And that will elevate their testosterone. They got hairs underneath their chinny chin. That's testosterone. You don't want that. But that's not coming from testosterone, primarily. It's coming from what we call estrogen dominance. Anyways, the reason I'm talking about that, I'm off on a little rabbit trail. The reason I say it, though, is you need cholesterol to make your hormones and deliver them. I just can't stand it when they make cholesterol the boogeyman. It's not the problem. The problem is your triglycerides and low HDL. Got it? Lots of fat balls, not enough Amazon, Canada Post, the U.S. Postal Service, UPS, whatever delivery system you like, FedEx. You need those trucks on the highways of your blood vessels. And that's why, this happened in the 1950s. One guy came out with the theory. Ansel Keys came out with the theory about cholesterol being bad. Never heard of it before. Nobody cared before. And you know what happened? He hitched his wagon to the food industry, especially Dr. Kellogg's, and that's a fact. And Dr. Kellogg's, who hated meat, I'm talking about a long time ago, guys, hated meat. He was a vegetarian. I think he was even a vegetarian. And then the food industry, and then, not long after, the big pharmaceutical companies, working on a false premise, developed a medication to hammer down your cholesterol called statin drugs. And guys, the rest is history. We have been on that failed experiment for that long, guys. I mean, it has been bad news for the population of North America. Because when you're hammering the wrong thing, the results are disaster. And that's why today, heart disease is still the #1 killer. Strokes are still a big problem. And we're looking at the wrong thing. And I love this study because that's exactly what it's saying. If you unpack it, it's not that complicated. Triglycerides, in 30 days, watch your triglycerides go down. Not by lowering your fat content, because even though they're 3 fat balls, what makes triglycerides is sugar. and crappy carbs. Bread, pasta, rice, cereals, sugar, sweets, pastries, bagels, muffins, having dessert for breakfast. That'll do something to you. You know what it'll do? It'll elevate your triglycerides. It's diet. It's diet. There's a new drug out, Vasipa. Okay? You know what it is? You know what it is? It's omega-3. And they spruced it up. Okay? They call it a pharmaceutical grade. It's $400 a month. That's how much it costs. And what is it? It's an omega-3 with very high EPA. It's made by a pharmaceutical company in Ireland. They have a patent on the process. It's just omega-3. Eating fat to lower your triglycerides. Imagine that. Don't go spend $400 a month on a medication. I mean, if a doctor insists on putting, you got coverage or whatever, you have health insurance, and he wants to put you on an omega-3 like Vasipa, okay. At least, you know, there's not a lot of side effects to that. I like eating my omega-3. I love high DHA, by the way. You know that. DHA works differently a little bit than the EPA that they use in that drug, Vasipa. But I'm telling you what's more effective. Because DHA gives you DHA will help you, stop you from getting strokes. Why? Because it lubricates, it's fat, it's like butter. It makes your blood vessels slippery. Because you see, when carotid arteries get hard, okay, you know what happens? Nothing passes through, plus it's blocked up. It's not slippery at all, it's clogged. It's like having clogged drains. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know if you're as excited as I am. But I am excited. Because when I see this, you know, I feel like screaming, hello. My good friend, okay, he's probably not watching this morning because he's in medical school, but he's always giving me the lowdown what they're teaching him. He's such a good guy. I said, you're going to be such a good medical doctor because you're going to use the best of both worlds. But anyways, he sent me, and I'll probably post this, okay, after. He sent me what they're teaching a diabetic to eat. Oh, in medical school. Oh, you got to go. Let me just see if I can find it here. Oh, I get a headache. Let me just see if I can find out what percentage they wanted of carbohydrates. Let me just see here, because he sent it to me this morning. This is taught at medical school. Oh, 45 to 6. This is for a diabetic. Hello? Medical school. 45 to 60% carbohydrates. Can you see my blood pressure going up? If you had a cuff on me right now, you'd see that Dr. Martin has high blood pressure this morning. Why? Diabetics, they're allergic to carbs. They They don't process carbohydrates. And they tell them in medical school, give them carbs. Make sure 45 to 60% of their diets is carb. A guarantee that they're going to stay diabetics. A guarantee. It's 100%. And guys, the reason I bring this up is because here's the study. If you have elevated glucose plus high triglycerides, those are diabetics, by the way. You're in deep doo-doo as far as your carotid arteries are concerned and the rest of your... Why would it only hit the carotids? Why would that plaque not be forming elsewhere? It does. We know that for a fact because diabetics are 50% more likely to have a stroke. Diabetics are 50% more likely to have a heart attack than the rest of the population. I mean, that's a well-known fact. Why? Blood vessels. Sugar. Guys, remember, you know this. This is Nutrition 101. Sugar, hello, cannot stay in your bloodstream. Sugar is so toxic, it destroys your blood vessels. And when you damage blood vessels, you form what? Plaque. You might think of plaque as, plaque on your teeth. Well, it's the same. It's tartar. Okay? It's tartar in your arteries. Not good. Guys, this is fantastic study. I tell you, I had a hard time not bringing this to you yesterday. But I had to talk about, I think it was, what did we do yesterday? Not eating at night? I think. Can't even remember now. And guys, let me just say this. I'm going to bring it to one more level. Okay? I'm going to bring it to one more level. When you have a little stroke in your brain, okay? They call it small vessel. Okay? Small vessel disease. That is a real huge problemo for Alzheimer's and dementia. Dementia is blood supply. In a lot of ways it is. It's blood supply. Okay? And that's why originally, and they don't do it as much as they should in my opinion, they call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. It's sugar, honey. And it ain't good. And when they come out with all these Alzheimer drugs, they've been colossal failure. Because they're trying, you know what they're aiming at? And I understand why they do it. But why don't they call me? Okay? Because what they're trying to do is to get rid of, help with amyloid plaque in the brain. See, the brain plaques up. And they want to see if they can't get rid of it with medication once you have it. The problem is, they're looking for love in all the wrong places. And it's been colossal, guys. They just approved a little while back an Alzheimer's drug. I kind of laughed about it, how the FDA did it. And the reason I was laughing is because they even admitted it doesn't work. But medicine is grasping at straws to try and do something for Alzheimer's. Because it's coming to a theater near you. It is so prevalent in our society today. And I understand that. They want to find something. Guys, get those triglycerides down. Get the A1C down. Get your HDL up. But I'm little John the Baptist in the wilderness, crying out, repent, repent. Do you know what the word repent means? Turn around. You're going in the wrong direction. That's what it means. 180 degrees turn. You're going this way, come this way. Anyway, guys, thanks for putting up with me, but I can't help but get excited. I get so excited. I see stuff coming down the pipes, and I love it. I'm telling you. I don't know if that's going to affect any kind of change in the world, but it ought to. But again, here's what we always do, right? Here's what we always do, you and I. Start with you. Start with you. I'm aiming at you, my audience. And we'll spread the good news. But you got to get it first. It's got to affect you first. Okay? Okay, guys. Nice to be in love, isn't it? Okay, you guys are so good. You're so patient with me, and I appreciate it, okay? I appreciate it. And my little quirkiness, I can't say that I'm going to change. Good luck with that. You take a 70-year-old like me, it's hard to make change a leper's spots. That's the way I'm built, guys. Okay? Okay. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye, love.